Hey plant lovers, welcome to my channel. I'm going to be repotting this Syngonium Mojito. Couldn't remember the name of it there. Yeah, I'm going to be repotting this and I'll just show you at the top there. Check out these new leaves that are coming out. There's some really awesome variegation on them. I have to say I was thinking this plant might be reverting, but I don't think it is. So this is kind of a two-part thing. As well as repotting, we're also adding in these propagations. So quite a lot of plant here, but hopefully this is going to go well. So let's start by taking them out of their cover pots. Let's have a little look. Hopefully this one's doing okay. It's been in soil for a little while. I just wanted to kind of give it a chance to establish some roots before I put it in with the mother plant. Let's just take this out of here. Now I haven't actually repotted this since I bought it. You can see there's some roots coming out, a couple of chunky roots, so I don't know if it's root bound, but we'll find out in a second. So let's start by taking the big plant out. I think that's going to be the best way. And let's put it over this bowl because we don't know what's in here. And yeah, I think I've mentioned before, I found all sorts of critters in pots before and I do not want them crawling all over the place. I don't mind spiders, I'm fine with spiders. I don't like things like centipedes, like that kind of thing. To me they are just what I would call a sinister insect. There's certain insects that I find sinister and I don't like having them running around my home. Right. This is kind of fun because I always wonder what I'm going to find when I first take a plant out of its pot. Am I going to see loads of noodly roots? That's ideally what we would find. Just giving it a little gentle pull here. Let's see what we've got. Oh, I thought I saw something move then. I think it was just a root. It's okay, it's okay. Don't panic. Just pull that root out of there. Oh, there's just one caught in the hole here. I can just gently push it through, hopefully. There's a couple of roots there together. It doesn't really harm the plant if you accidentally damage a few roots. It's nothing to worry about. Plants are way more resilient than we think. There we go. Oh, look at that. It's got a kind of thing in the middle for the pole. That's cool. That's kind of made me think that would be really useful in all pots for poles. I guess I'm going to have to do without it though because I don't have that in my new pot. Let's see what we've got. Okay. I know you can't see me behind this, but I'm still here, I promise you. I should definitely keep that pot, that will be useful. But does this plant need a new pot? I think it does. Maybe just a little bit bigger, but not too much bigger. Because if I just pull that up to you there, that is what we've got. So, well, we've got some decent roots there. I wouldn't say it was terribly root bound, but I think it might benefit from just one size up. because it is kind of on its way to being root bound. So I think that's probably going to be what I'm going to do today. Although actually I've just forgotten, I'm supposed to be putting those extra plants in with it too, aren't I? So that might change the size, but we'll see. Just get a little bit of this off first. And as I say, this isn't too bad, the stuff we've got in here. It's got some perlite in it, so it's better than most, let's put it that way. Not sure there's any bark in there, but at least there's perlite. So always look on the bright side. The roots look nice and healthy, which is great. Really happy with that. Okay. This plant has just recently been watered. I've been taking my plants in the shower at the moment every time they need watering and giving them a really good spray down, and I'm finding that it's really helping to keep the pests at bay. I think I've kind of come to a point of acceptance that I'm probably not going to be 100% pest free, because, you know, it's just one of those things that comes with plants. So I've definitely chilled out a lot more about pests. I think I've just become just used to it really, and I don't freak out every time I find a pest on the back of a leaf anymore. I just think, well, that's fine, I'll just put it in the shower and give it a shower off. And I think I've just accepted it really as part of the hobby, and just I'm a lot more chilled about it. I think you can't get rid of every single pest on plants. I think it's more about pest control than pest elimination, and that's all you can do really. Keep the pests down to a minimum, and if you do that, then they're not going to cause too much damage to your plants. So the routine that I've been sticking to is whenever the plant needs watering, I take it to the shower and I shower down the backs and the fronts of the leaves. Even though pests generally hang out on the backs of the leaves, I still do the fronts anyway, because it's always nice to kind of get rid of the dust as well. So I do that, and then obviously the plant gets watered at the same time. And then if I see any pests on the plant in the meantime, before it needs watering again, then I will clean down the leaves with a sponge, not a sponge, a cloth, and I mix up my own insecticidal soap, which is just water, rubbing alcohol and dish soap. And basically what I do is I just clean off the backs and the fronts of the leaves with that. So that's my in-between routine, because what you don't want to do is kind of keep spraying the plant down when it doesn't need watering, when it's just been watered, because it could end up with root rot. So I don't want that to happen. So yeah, that's what I do when the plant doesn't need watering. You know, say if I see a thrip, or, you know, if I know it's been near another plant that had a pest, I'll just do that. And that seems to be working for me. I think when I originally freaked out a bit when I had an outbreak of thrips, it started on my Monstera deliciosa. I freaked out a bit, I think, and I jumped to using pesticide, and I think maybe it was kind of unnecessary actually in hindsight, because now that I've had time to just chill out and think and try out some different things without panicking, I'm finding that my routine of cleaning the leaves in the ways I just described to be just fine to control pests. I feel like I'm on top of it. So I'm definitely going to reserve pesticides just if it gets out of hand, I'm not going to use them otherwise. Because I didn't know this, but I did some research about pests, you know, just trying to learn as much as I could learn about it. And I discovered that actually they can become immune or resistant to pesticide. So that kind of means that if you overuse it, you know, the pests could become immune to it, and so that's not good. But the other thing is, I also found out that, and I didn't know this, but certain pesticides that work on thrips can actually make spider mites worse, and that's kind of strange. I didn't really know that. I don't know if you knew that. So that's another reason not to overuse it. But yeah, I'm definitely getting in my swing, so to speak, with the pest control now, so I feel a little better about it. And yeah, just chilling out really about it all and getting on with it. It's no big deal, it's just normal stuff. Certainly doesn't mean you've failed if you have pests. You should definitely remember that everyone gets them, and it's just part of nature. So yeah, definitely don't give yourself a hard time about them, because I just want to know how many roots we've got in this one, because if they're only small still, then it's not going to need a huge amount of extra space. They are quite small still, but those are some good roots. Okie dokie, I'm going to keep that because it's fine. I feel like I've put it in too big of a pot, and I'm worrying about it. I think, let's bring it back over here. I'm going to, is it too big? It's not really. I mean, look at those roots, they are pretty huge. No, you know what, I'm going to go for the smaller one because I'm just really nervous. I love this plant and I don't want it to rot. I can always do it again if necessary. I do not want this plant to rot. I would be really sad. So I'm going to go for this one. Okay. So I want it in the middle, and then I want these little cuttings. I'm going to place them kind of, I don't know if you can see from there, but I'm just kind of placing them around so that they basically grow up the pole. And then they'll just fill out the pot a little bit, which is what I'm really aiming for. If plants get a little sparse, it's always at the bottom of the plant, isn't it? Because that's where they lose their leaves first, which is natural and normal, you know. Lower leaves are supposed to eventually go when they've had their life, but sometimes it leaves the lower half of the plant looking a bit sparse. So I think that's the goal here, is to kind of get a bit more of a fuller bottom. That's what we're aiming for here. Everyone loves a fuller bottom, right? Okay. This is a quite sweaty work, I must say. It's very hot. I thought summer was over, but maybe it's not. Right. I'm getting knocked out every which way here by all sorts of different plants. I'm getting somewhere here. I feel I'm getting somewhere. I don't know if this is going to fit in its cover pot anymore after this, which means I'm going to have to look for yet another cover pot. Another big one. I'm always running out of the big pots, the big cover pots. Because of course plants grow and they get bigger, of course, that's what they're supposed to do. And then I'm left with loads of smaller pots as they grow. And if I don't buy smaller plants, then I'm going to end up with loads and loads of smaller pots and not many big ones. Okay, getting there, I'm getting there. And it does look a lot fuller at the bottom, which is really, really good, because that is what I'm going for here. And apologies that you probably can't get a great view there. Hopefully you can start to see the fullness of the plant. Okay. So this shouldn't need a repot now until next year. I do have a feeling that it's going to need a repot again next year because it's quite a full plant and I didn't leave a huge amount of space. I think I'm just terrified. It's hard for me sometimes to get the mix right, to make sure that a pot is not too big but not too small, and I just struggle with choosing pots the right size. I'm not very good at judging it. But I think that's okay. To be honest, when it comes to roots, Syngoniums tend to be quite rooty, if you know what I mean. They grow their roots pretty quickly, I find. So we'll see. Okay, I think that will do. I really hope you enjoyed the video and maybe you got some plant chores done too. And if you did enjoy it, maybe give it a like and also subscribe to my channel. And until next time guys, as always, look after your plants and look after yourself.